I am Legal Counsel Muhammad Bayoum.
I'm Professor Gaura Ganit, business and commercial expert,
Join us
as we navigate
the legal landscape
to empower you.
with knowledge. Our mission is clear: to simplify the law and make it relevant to your everyday lives and decisions.
Whether you're an individual seeking clarity or a business owner navigating legal waters, Legally Speaking is your guide.
Expert engaging discussions, expert insights, and the practical advice tailored to your needs.
Explore topics from contracts to compliance and learn how the law can work for you.
Protect your rights and make informed decisions.
Don't miss out on this opportunity to enhance your legal understanding and empower yourself.
Tune into Legally Speaking and take control of your legal journey.
Whether you're an individual or a business owner. Welcome to Legally Speaking by Synergy Hub International, powered by Timeless Elegance Events Management. Legally Speaking is where the podcast that we break down complex legal topics and make them accessible to everyone. I'm Professor Gaura Ganit, your host for tonight. With me is Legal Counsel Muhammad Al-Bayoumi.
Hello, Mr. Gab. How are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. And you?
I'm really happy to see you today.
Same here. Well, tonight's topics are really interesting.
Yeah.
When we encourage viewers to engage with us with your questions and answers. So we'll be tackling a common issues that our citizens from the United Arab Emirates are facing. So our topic entitled is Credit Crossroads, Navigating Financial Minefield. Now, I would like to have a basis of all the conversations about the topic. What legal platforms or governing laws in UAE does credit and loans fall under?
Actually, today is a very interesting topic. Just loans, credit cards. That's the common, issue for.
Issues, yeah, it's true.
Look, regarding to that question, the law that covers that kind of issue, the commercial law, and sometimes it goes to the criminal law.
Okay,
Yes, it's exactly in the checks or something like this.
all right. So where does it goes also to civil law, or it goes from commercial to criminal?
No, it doesn't go to the civil because the check already, or if there is a company and a person, always there is a company and a person, okay, in the loans or credit cards. So it goes directly to the commercial law.
Okay.
Even if someone gave another one, two persons, a check, it also will go to the criminal law because it depends also on the papers.
Sure, I understand. But before we move forward to the questions of our televiewers, which, by the way, we asked a couple of days back for those who would like to ask questions related to the topic. And we have some interesting questions, a real life one, that we'll be discussing later on. But we would like to take this moment to remind everyone and our listeners tonight that the information we provided in this podcast is for general information purposes only and should not be used or construed as a legal advice because every cases or legal landscape are constantly changing and evolving, and laws can varies from different jurisdictions. Importantly, you need to consult with a qualified attorney or legal counsel for advice tailored fit to your specific situations. We would like to take note that our opinions and the guest opinions, the host, and any individuals interviewed in this podcast are their own and does not necessarily reflect the views of the organizations and its affiliates. So, with that, let's start with the very first interesting questions. A brief background of our televiewers' inquiry. I left the UAE in year 2019.
Okay.
And I have a 25,000 dirhams liability on my credit card. Now I'm living outside UAE. What are the potential problems that I will face if I visit the country again?
Well, just in this moment, just if someone has a liability for a credit card or a loan or any other issue, I recommended to him to find a lawyer to communicate with the bank to try to solve his problem if the bank did not file a case.
Okay.
Or even if the bank filed already a case, he has to settle with the bank.
All right. So
I
to answer the questions is, would there be an impending problems to the person visiting the UAE? So there would be a potential problem.
It will be a potential problem, and
Okay.
it happened before. Maybe the bank filed a case against you and you did not notify because you already left the country and you
Okay.
didn't keep the phone number yet. So you will not know if the bank already filed a case or not. So maybe when you get into the airport, then you will find yourself catched by the police. So I think you are willing to pay. That's the bank right to file the case because that it's money. But also, yes, you have to find a lawyer to check with the bank about the situation, try to settle with it, and I think the bank will go for it.
Okay. Now, well, just to give a background on the discussions about the topic that we have today, which is the credit crossroads and the financial minefield. When you talk about financial minefield, this is where most of the expats are being buried with credit cards and loans or any liabilities that they have taken while they're here. So just to make sure to give emphasis that to our televiewers what we are talking about. Now to continue with same question almost, the question was, I have an unpaid loan in UAE since last year, but now I'm currently working in KSA. Is there a risk for me being arrested in the airport or any countries in GCC? Would I have a liability related to this?
Well, this question exactly has two responses.
Okay.
The first one, just already the bank or anybody else had the right to file the case here and to open the execution in another country. It doesn't matter. It's right. Also, but I think there is a project just of making all the the Khalid countries, it will be on the same system.
Okay.
So maybe in the future we will see just if you have a problem here, you will be punished in anywhere, regard from these countries. So I think I recommend if you have that kind of problem, try to settle your issue because I hear, some words about that everything will be under one system. And I think that's good because you are trying to keep in someone's rights, wherever he lives here or where. That's honestly great. So I recommend for anybody has an issue here or Saudi Arabia or where, he has to communicate with the bank. The bank right now are trying to settle everything. If just you check your situation, what you can do, maybe you can pay for payments, from outside. It doesn't matter. Just if you are willing to pay, nobody will say no.
So with all of this in line with your answer to me, there would be a possibility, especially in the near future, with not just limited to GCC, that any potential credit issues or loan can be an impending problem or to be arrested somewhere else if the execution was implemented in that country.
Until now, no.
Okay,
But I don't know what will happen in the future. Maybe
That's
it will
true.
be yes.
So the best way always is to make sure that you know your liabilities. You deal with a legal lawyer or a legal counsel to deal with your liabilities wherever or whenever you are.
I recommend that so also.
Okay. Now there's another questions in line with this. After this, we're going to be paused for a quick break. This is a person who already went home, and the question was, how do I clear my credit card dues even if I'm already on my home country? So meaning he already went back home, whether that is in in Asia, in Africa, or in other parts of the world. However, they or she has an intention to clear his debts. Is there any other way that they can do that?
Look, firstly, just sometimes just maybe someone paid more than he has to pay. He doesn't know. Just I recommend first he has to make the accounting, for how much he paid, how much he took. And after that, then we will find the net amount. Then you can communicate with, I don't think that the bank will communicate from you outside of the country. So you have to find a trusted one here inside, and then this one will communicate with the bank with the power of attorney, okay? And after that, he will tell you what's next. And if you find an issue, just you find yourself, no, just I got about 80,000, for example,
True.
and I paid about 80,500. So why that has to be more, or just what is the situation for the money, or the increasing money amount? So in that moment, maybe you can go to the court, just make that file the case. Then the court will hire an expert, and then they will check how much you took, how much you paid, okay. And after that, they will make the deduction, what the bank's right, what you right. Okay, and after that you will pay the payment. But
Okay.
I recommend also, if you try to make a settlement with the bank before going to the court, maybe you will reduce the court fees or something like that.
So the key takeaway that I remember you mentioning that is, more importantly, to make sure that even if you're already back home, wherever that would be, is to have a representation to talk to the bank in your behalf. So because you have the full intention to settle whatever liabilities that you have, right? So that also is still the best way to do that. And with a representation means a legal company or a legal counsel.
I prefer that because sometimes the legal counsel, maybe when communicates with the bank, it will be more legally, and that's the
Okay.
point of it. Because also he understands the situation. If the bank, of the people in the bank told him something, he
True.
can reply to them. He can say that that's right or that's not, because he
True.
already knows the law. That's what I suggest, but I don't know, maybe you can find a trusted one also.
They
That's
can have a power of attorney addressed to a private persons to deal with that. However, my question is, would any institution accept that as a representative of the person who has liabilities, or
It depends on the power that you will give inside the power of attorney.
okay,
The power of attorney gives you everything you want. You have to mention that. And this power of attorney, if you will make it, because you're not here, so you will make the power of attorney from your country, and you
True.
have to stamp the power of attorney from the embassy, and then you will bring it here. You will stamp it also from the council and the embassy. That will be authorized here. Without that, you cannot communicate with the bank. That's a secret information. The bank will not
That's
share it,
also
even
true.
with the lawyers.
yeah, that's also true. Anyway, we'll be paused for a quick break. There will be a lot of interesting questions, and we invite you to engage yourself and throw us your questions and inquiries. We'll be able to answer you back. So I'll see you in a bit.
In a world driven by ambition, where dreams are the fuel for innovation, we understand that success isn't just a goal, it's a journey. That's why we're here. At Synergy Hub International, we provide more than just solutions. We provide support, guidance, a partnership in your journey. Because your success isn't just our goal, it's our priority. Synergy Hub International, where your dreams become our mission.
Back again to Legally Speaking by Synergy Hub International, powered by Timeless Elegance Events Management. So we have a very interesting questions and answers that you have provided us, and insights about credit, loans, and other liabilities. This is in line with the last week topic, which is debt and other debt issues. Now, to continue with the questions,
Okay.
there's related to how other credit and collections companies are, to an extent, following up, and to, probably there's a probability of potential harassment through via constant calls. You know that these companies, their responsibility is to collect whatever liabilities any person are. What are the rights of those creditors or those who have liabilities if in case they felt that they are somehow being harassed with too much phone calls?
You mean that the debt collection companies are
Yes.
trying to call them a lot, and
Yes,
that will
true,
be
true.
bothering?
Yes, really true.
Actually, first I recommend him to he has to send an email to this company to notify it that he get bothered for the calls, too much
Okay.
calls. And then if the company did not accept that he had the right to file a complaint, a criminal case against him, and that's his right. He can do it.
Okay.
Because here the life you have to feel free Nobody has to bother you, or can't. Nobody can't bother you here. So maybe they are communicating with you because the rights they're asking you for about debt or something. But also it has to be, logic. Just to call me once, twice, or something like this, or 3 times something. If I did not pay, okay, just to go to the court and file a case against me, and that's right.
And the person should be able to still needs to consult with a legal counsel or a lawyer if in case they're filing a complaint or a legal case about it.
Yes,
So
because
that's the best and the logical way to do it.
yeah, because he will file the case against that whatever who he is. If a person only trying to keep bothering you with calls, don't stop bothering you. You have to notify him. Do not bother me again. And the law here, keeps you rated to file a complaint against him, a criminal case, and after that you can ask him for compensation too.
That's okay. That's interesting because, like what I said, it's not just about one's right to collect because it's their right. I mean, the companies who has lent the money or any individual who has lent the money has the right to actually collect them. However, to an extent, the person has also the right to to have a peace to an extent, not to being bothered to the extent that they are being disturbed. That's basically how it works.
Yeah. You have the right to ask to claim. You have to file a claim against me, but you don't have the right to bother me. Okay, and also if I did not just inform them, but I recommend that if you want that, just notify them by email or a message. Please do not call me again. And if they keep calling you, you have the right to file a complaint against him.
But still, you have to notify them first. I mean, you cannot just take an action without.
No, you can't if you did not notify.
Okay.
Because you don't have the right to call me a lot.
Okay.
Why you call me just I say for collecting the debt? No, that's not right. That's
It
an
goes
issue.
to the concept of emotional damage to an extent, or
Yes, actually, because maybe you keep pushing me. Okay, do not push me up. Just let me free, and just if you have a problem, I think the court will judge. Okay, we will get the judgment. If you have the right, the court will give it to you.
True.
So why you are trying to bother me? Maybe I'm trying to relax to find a way to pay that debt. Maybe you don't have the right to ask me for it.
Okay.
Who will decide? Okay. So sometimes maybe they are asking me for paying money. They don't deserve it. I mean, I already paid, or just a matter of issue. Just it doesn't my fault to keep bothering me. You call and I recommend just even these companies just to call me once, twice, 3 times approximately, and just if I told you from the first place, do not call me again. Do not call again. That's it, right?
That's a good, very nice point of view. But again, to give emphasis to that, whatever information we share is for general purposes only, and you should always seek a legal counsel or a professional or a lawyer, because each and every case has its own unique circumstances. So to be able to provide you the specific solution, you have to consult with them. Now, to continue with the questions, just thinking right now, the law is keep evolving. Policies are also changing. What are the recent development on any regulations that has been changed that I would like to be aware of about the issue related to credit cards and loans? Would you like to care to share any new provisions that has been implemented, if not being talked about?
Actually, regarding to that kind of topic, loans and credit cards has lots of changing. Okay,
There are new changes. you mean?
yes, lots of rules. It will not be in we cannot just maybe say as a change. It's a rules.
Okay.
Okay, it's a rule for the person, for the bank, for everybody, for any establishment, financial establishment. They have a rule right now. Everyone has something to control it. Okay, all of it will be covers by the commercial law. Okay, by the way, but also just I will give a piece of advice for anybody regarding to the checks, because some people are trying to sign a check and maybe he think that this is the right signature. Okay, maybe he think that he has to be careful for the signature, the authorized signature in the bank, because sometimes some people are submitting, signing signatures for banks for loans or something, and then after that they found out when they send it that the signature will be not a regular signature. That's a criminal case, and
Okay.
it will be a big issue for him. So he also, some people are trying to close the accounts after getting the loans or claiming dues, and that's also a criminal issue. So I told you from the first place, just maybe you have it will be under the commercial law. Also, it will be in the criminal law if someone has,
The intention.
Yes, the intention
to deceive the financial institution, because
Yes.
that's basically an intention.
Sometimes some people trying to manipulate the financial company or
Okay.
establishment. So this manipulating, it will be a problem for him, because after that, if the court or the government find out that will be an issue for him, because it will be a criminal case. Just when you go to a financial place,
This is one of the changes that has been,
Yep.
one of the probably new regulations that has been implemented.
in the
or-
past it was, but it wasn't all the kind under the criminal law, because before all the checks, if you give someone a check and return it back for insufficient count or just signature, irregular signature, or just you submit the check after 6 months, you have the right, you would have the right to file a complaint. But right now, regarding to the law, just you cannot complain a criminal case with a check only if returned for irregular signature, or just you close the account with bad intention. In this moment, just you will be punished by the criminal law.
So
Except
what-
that, you go for the commercial law directly. Do
What
not-
other new regulations that the authority, the governing authority, has implemented? I would like to also to add to that. I know that jurisdiction between Emirates is also different, so they cannot also tailor fit one regulations from one Emirates to another, or they have to make sure that they are aware of all of these regulations at the same time, or applicable to all Emirates.
Actually, the commercial law is a federal law.
Okay.
So it covers all kind of Emirates.
All right.
But sometimes some laws is like rental law. If each country has its own.
Okay. Its own regulations and
yeah,
policies to
yeah.
that. Okay.
But regarding to the commercial law is general. But maybe you will find just inside circulars or something like this.
Circulars. Yeah.
Yes.
Memorandums and circulars.
Yes, it will be. Sometimes it will be different, just regarding to the situation.
Okay.
Okay, but I think most of them are the same. It goes for the same right. They are trying to keep everyone's right, the financial
Okay.
company and also the persons itself. And also, just if we are gonna talk about that topic, maybe we'll not end it for the day, because regarding to the changes, I saw before, just in the past, sometimes just in the experts or just you go try to calculate the amount regarding to the loans.
On how the calculations works. That's a very nice point, by the way. Most of the stories, feedbacks that we get from that, the principal is much, much lower than the interest of those who are being buried to credit cards or loans itself. However, I also believe, because that this has its basis from the time that you take a loan or take the credit card, you sign by principle an agreement about how it's being calculated. So what's the new regulations on this?
That you mean the simple interest and the
Yes,
compound
the
interest?
compounded interest and the simple interest in terms of that. Because I know most liabilities where people are being buried with liabilities or credit card issues, most of the chunk are from the interest, not the principal.
Look, actually, just that's a good point, by the way. Okay, actually, just if we focus in the component interest and the simple interest, we will say something. Component interest here is not allowed. Actually,
Compounded
prohibited.
interest is not
Yes,
allowed.
it's
Why is
prohibited.
that it's not allowed then?
Because it's against the Sharia. Okay, it's
okay.
not
This is
allowed.
where religions and the
Against-
beliefs and faith
Yes, not
falls in
allowed.
it. Okay.
Okay, so the allowed here for non-Islamic banks, the simple interest.
Simple interest.
And how to calculate it, it's a matter of issue. Because if you would like to know how to be calculated or counted, Like what? Just if I have a loan, then you got the loan, for example, 100,000 or something like this.
True.
And then you would like to pay this to pay the bank. The bank gives you a payment. Maybe it will be deducting from your salary or just what the agreement between you and the financial company it is. Then the bank or the financial company has to get the payment from the loan itself. We will not go for the component for the interest right now.
Okay.
Just first you have to pay
The principal.
the principal. After that, the bank will calculate a simple interest for the whole amount.
So there would be a recalculation then that should happen if in case one person has wanted to raise its, its potential cases and to review the obligation that she has or he has in terms of the whole payables.
Actually, the financial companies has to know these rules, okay? But if there is a problem or something, you can file just to communicate with them, tell them just how much you deduct from my account.
Okay.
And I think you can ask for statements, okay? Okay, and then calculate how much the took and how much the loan was, and then make the calculation. And after that, if you find yourself you paid more than the simple interest, you can ask them for giving you the money back by a legal notice or something like that if they did not do it, or just you try to negotiate with them simply first. If they didn't do it, just go direct for the court, and the court will give you the right, because the money between the financial companies and the clients, it's simple, because there is a system. How much you took, how much I paid already, and that's the matter. What is the simple interest? Just what it is, regarding to the central bank or just against the central bank. If it's against the central bank, no, it will be a component interest. So you have to give it me back.
True.
That's the matter of issue. And also, by the way, that's also the court mentioned that's important for anyone to know this right. Just he had the right. No, don't let anybody to get any component issue benefit from you.
Compounded interest. Okay.
And also for that moment, I will give you something new.
Okay.
Some people are trying to lend some people money.
Yeah.
Just if you add benefit for that money, it will be punished by the criminal
Actually,
law.
there's how would I put it? Right now, I've seen some post that an institution are lending money, but I find it suspicious to an extent, because there's no such thing as free lunch. There's always an exchange to that. What do you think should individual do if they are in the position that they need to take a loan and there's an available institution that doesn't have, that's a questionable background, to verify whether they are legitimate lending institution?
Look, just if someone wants some money and he will borrow money from a friend or so, this friend does not have the right to ask him for a benefit.
Okay.
If you are looking for a benefit, just to go to the financial company, ask him for this loan, because that's you authorized companies here. But it's prohibited for anyone here to lend to someone money with benefit. That will be punished by the law, and it will be a big punishment, by the way.
Okay.
Yes, so you have to be careful. Sometimes you say, I'm trying to help someone. No, that doesn't work. I don't know how to solve this problem with giving money, but just you give someone a money as a friend or something
All
like
right.
this, that's you have to give him the same.
I will have one more question before we pause for one more break. Before you answer this, I will throw the question. So, I am jobless right now. I have liabilities to pay, but I wanted to pay, but I have no means to do so. Can I negotiate with the bank institutions about my situation and later on pay them? Before you answer that, we'll be pausing for a break. I would like you to ask your questions and engage with us. Thank you.
Co-working spaces are rapidly gaining popularity in today's workplace. According to the research, 1.7 million millennials have taken advantage of new working conditions given by co-working spaces. With distinctive co-working space benefits such as increase productivity, cost effectivity, increase network. In Synergy Hub International, we have it for you as our co-working spaces are designed to promote sense of community, equipped with modern facilities and most of all located in the capital of UAE in the center of Abu Dhabi city. What are you waiting for? Book your tour now.
Welcome back to Legally Speaking. I'm your host for tonight, Professor Gaura Ganit. Again, we would like to inform everyone that whatever information we shared are for general information purposes only. We recommend you to seek a legal advice from a lawyer or a legal counsel because each cases are different from each own. So the circumstances behind it must be tailor-fitting the advice to your needs. So that's a disclaimer that we would like to ask. So to continue and to answer my questions, let me repeat that before you proceed. So the question was, I am jobless right now. I wanted to pay the liabilities that I have, but I have no means. Can I negotiate with the bank or to the lending institutions about the delay of the payments until such time I found a job?
Actually, it doesn't matter. It's okay. Just try to communicate with the bank. Just tell the bank your situation, okay? Tell the bank that you're already a jobless and you're trying to find out how to pay the money. I think that's, very good from that one. I don't know, okay? Because he wants to pay, okay?
It's basically a good intention.
Yes, yes, actually.
To pay the liabilities. However, he or she was able to face in the circumstances that is not employed.
Yeah, actually, that's really awesome. Just
Okay.
when you want to pay to give the people right or the bank or the financial situation the right, and I think that's it. That's what you have to do.
Okay.
That's the right thing. But regarding to the situation, just try to communicate with the bank. Tell the bank your situation. If the bank did not accept it and what it can do, they will file a complaint against you. Also try to explain your situation to the courts, and I think you will find out a solution for installments or something like this. Okay.
There were a point in time, I remember probably 3 to 5 years ago during the COVID period, wherein to an extent the financial institutions are become lenient. That includes providing an insurance to those who loses their job, at the same time like a holiday for those who has liabilities during this period. However, I'm not sure if it's still right now available in the market or I just wanted to get your opinion about it. I mean, to an extent, other than negotiating or communicating with the bank, is there still right now a way to get an insurance of those who loses the job, or to have a holiday on paying liabilities?
There
If in
is
case-
exist already. Yes, there is. You mean the
it's still
insurance
existing.
for jobless people? You mean?
Oh yes.
I think if you registered for the insurance,
Okay.
that I think it was last year. Okay, that if you registered already, that means you have the right. If you did not work for 3 months, you have to ask. You can get a compensation regarding to the previous salary. And I told you in the first episode, we are living in a unique system.
All right.
They are trying to put everybody in the safe house, even the people, just whatever. Just when you come here and you try to live a good life without no problems, you will find your destination. Even if you are jobless and you were working before and now you don't have a work, you can, but you have to register. By the way, there is a fine if you did not submit to that system. It will be a fine 400 dirhams, I think, each year.
So that is an advice that we'd probably give them to an extent. I mean, not 100% because we have to know the circumstances behind it. Is when they think that there would be a chance for them to lose their job, they have to get an insurance to protect themselves.
Yes, I give everybody this piece of advice. They have to submit, because that's the law procedure. If you did not submit, don't ask, look, just I will be in the safe side or not. Even if you don't like to be in the safe side,
That's true.
you have to submit. because that's a rule. If nobody submits in this, you will get 400 fines for, I think, for each year. I don't exactly know if for per year or just whatever, but the fine 400 dirhams, and that's a law has been published for all the people here. Just they have to register in the insurance company, and I think you have two insurance company, by the way. I think, but maybe cannot mention the names. But
Yeah, we cannot. I mean,
but you have the right to put your need to register to pay. I think it will be a little dirhams just for that, and then you will get 3 months salary. That's a good.
well, right now we always have to be balanced. Other than the one who are in debt, which is the one who take a loan or take the credit cards, is to see it from the perspective of financial institutions side as well. Oh, I know for a fact that they have their rights, and each and every individual must read whatever the institution gave them before they're signing or agree to the terms and condition. This is very critical, right? When you take a loan, you have to read all the provisions in the contract. When you are taking a credit cards or taking a card itself, you by principle agree to the terms and conditions of the financial institutions. So to our televiewers, you have to make sure that you read this properly.
Yeah.
And that basically is a protection also from your end.
And also there is something. Sometimes some people, they don't know what the articles means. You know, sometimes you read an article, you don't understand the meaning of it. Okay, so I think I recommend also to get someone, especially in that, maybe a legal one. Then it will tell you if that's right or not. Because
True.
maybe you don't understand what this article mean. You look first how much you will take, how much you pay, but you didn't care about the articles. Maybe you will find yourself under a penalty. Just you have to pay. You find yourself just maybe the other party had the right to file a claim against you anytime. You have to read. That's what you mentioned is the great point that the people have to be care about. Read before sign anything. Just read, and if you don't understand, just
You ask for legal advice.
and also ask for a time. Maybe I'd like to check the contract before signing. Send me a copy of it, then I will read it calmly
True.
to show it to a legal to get a legal advice for it, and if it's okay, I will sign.
This is the reason why people are also in trouble, probably. They are not reading the terms and conditions on the documents that they are signing. And if in case they didn't understand, they have to secure a proper individual or expert to give them the professional advice to that.
Understanding is a matter of issue.
Alright.
If you don't understand that, you have to find the right way to understand to right one to tell you what is written inside the contract.
True.
And if it's not like what, just I speak Arabic and I don't know the language of that, I don't understand English for example, just ask for a translated copy, or just to take it and translate it and just read it with your own language.
True.
Do not sign on I sign on a contract an English format. I don't understand.
On our next episodes, we'll be discussing about commercial laws, to be more specific, contracts.
Yes.
So that's
okay.
going to be more interesting on our next episode. But for now, let me ask you about personal loans. If someone borrowed money, and the person who borrowed money, probably I asked it last time, refuses to pay or did not pay according to their verbal agreement, non-documentary, what is the right of those person who is claiming for this money? Because by principle, it is hard-earned money and someone borrowed it and they are just ignoring, not answering, no response, MIA, nada, khalas, whatever you. So what's your take on this?
You are meaning the borrower and the lender.
Yeah, the borrower and the lender.
What their rights?
Yes.
Look, I told you before the break, just for the lender, okay? Do not ask for a benefit inside this.
Okay,
the
that's
amount.
number one.
It would be a criminal issue. And after that, it shows for just if this one is willing to pay or not. I think nobody will ask you just to give me the money and you will give it. Just you have to make sure that this guy is a trusted person. I can give him the money?
But what about the one who lent the money and he needs it as well, and the commitment wasn't given. So what can he do to be able to get the money that he lent?
To get his money back, first, if he has to make a warning letter, by the way, okay? I know this.
An individual can actually create his demand letter.
Yes, that's necessary.
Okay, or a
For-
notice perhaps.
For example, just maybe if you would like to file an order for payment, because that's a specific kind of
Document, yeah.
a kind of case. It's a type of a case, a claim. Just order for payment. That inquires just you have to make a demand for payment, and after 5 working days you can submit your claim. If you did not do it, that will be rejected in the court. So you have to make a warning letter. But by the way, if maybe sometimes just the borrower just give a little amount from the
Partial payment.
yes,
you
partial
mean?
payment, and then he did not continue. Some people are trying to make an order for payment, and they don't know just if they file this kind of case, they have to know that it will be a specific amount. If it's not a specific amount, that means if someone just make a claim about it, just I gave someone amount and you don't have the right to go forward for the order for payment, go for a normal case. It's okay, it's your right.
Is it also the right of the one who lend the money, since the person are not paying, to increase it, to put a fine or a penalty?
Yep,
He has the right to do
He
so.
will ask you for benefits. He will ask you for compensation. He also will ask you for the court fees. He had the right to do it, and that has to be included inside the notice period. The notice, the warning letter he has to mention everything.
But the warning letter or the demand letter should come from a lawyer,
Should come from the
or a
lawyer,
lawyer
to,
or law firm.
it should come from the court.
Oh,
it would
okay.
be the legal.
It should be the process.
Yeah,
you
that's
mean.
the process. It's necessary if you want to make an order for payment. But if you will not make an order for payment, you will file like a normal case, a civil case. It's a go forward if you don't have a check, okay? That the paper of the paper or the document that you gave, not a check. Go for the civil case. But if it's a check, you have to back to the commercial check, as I mentioned in the first place. Just you have to go for the commercial court. But if it's not a check, and the normal document, just I gave someone that I read, I already just
written
write a
document.
document just for someone normal one. It will be for the civil court.
Okay.
You're right. Also, if you got this, you can make a travel ban for the one who refuses to pay. You can make that means you will keep him here until finishing your case.
Okay.
That's your right too.
That's interesting.
And also, for the borrower, he has to be careful. If you would like to give the money back, just it has to be with receipts or just bank transferring.
Okay.
So because you
There's a
already
paper trail.
Yes.
You mean?
You already signed a paper. You have to give everything. It has to be irregular, just bank transferring or just receipts. If you did not do it, sometimes maybe you will not. You give the money without any guarantee. So maybe this one will file. If a bad person, he will file a complaint with the total amount.
True.
And the lender has to be careful too. Okay, and the lender has to be careful too, because do not give someone the money and then tell him just I will sign just maybe not a normal documents. Just maybe he will say I did not communicate with you, I did not ask you for that. That will be a fraud.
Well, it's just a very quick question about that. Other than the document, piece of paper, an authorized one, would a WhatsApp communication saying that I have a commitment to pay or I have a liability in a WhatsApp communication, is that a valid channel of communication?
Yep.
Okay.
Because here
Even if there's no written paper, if there's a WhatsApp or a text that says, yes, I have a liability, would that constitute a valid document?
Yep, you will make a screenshot from this WhatsApp's conversation, and then you can file a complaint regarding to it, because that's a commitment for someone just to really took the money.
So that channel of communications will serve as enough evidence, as a commitment for the person who has liabilities.
Look, if you did not before watching this episode.
No worries.
Okay, before watching this episode, if maybe you give someone a a bit of money, just and then you don't have any proofs except that the WhatsApp conversations, you can go forward for the court because that's a commitment. But after this episode, you have to be careful, just because don't rely just only on the WhatsApp messages. You have to be assigned the documents.
So therefore, it's not enough. It is always best to have a signed document.
Yes.
Okay, if in absence of the document, somehow the WhatsApp communications, to an extent, might add value to the
Maybe
case.
the WhatsApp communications, it will not be someone's number. It's my number. I'm communicating with you. Maybe I'm using another one's
That's a good
phone.
point. I can use another.
No,
All right,
because
all
but
right.
also just I can know just if you are using it, because if you have here a UE pass, it will be under this number. It will be if you have a
But
bank.
if you use another number, that's a different story.
That's your situation. You give the money without any guarantee.
True, that's true. Well, so it's a really interesting topic. Just to go back to the question related to credit card. There's one question that I received. The one is here in Abu Dhabi. How many missed payments to a credit card that will make a case on me? And what is the potential punishment for this? So I think this is by principle answerable by the financial institution. Correct me if I'm wrong, because they were asking how many missed payments before it becomes a problem.
Look, actually, it's not like that.
It's like they're asking for the quota.
No, it's not about missing payment or something. It's about the contract. There is a contract between you and the financial company.
True.
So if then the contract mentioned that if there is a only a missing payment you did not pay, I have the right to file a complaint. So you can do it. So
Even if it's one, it's basically a right.
I'm back into the question that you asked it, just regarding to reading the contract.
The contract, okay.
If you already know what is written inside the contract, you will not ask you this question because you will know the terms.
So the one who asked this question, you haven't read the terms and conditions in the agreement that you have
Ask
signed.
for a copy and then read it.
I understand. Anyway, there's one more question before we pause for one more commercial. It's gonna be the last. So we're encouraging everyone to actually engage and ask question to us. What do you think that a creditor or the one who borrowed money from the banking institutions through a credit card, and they use another credit card to pay the loan that they have, the liability that they have from the first one doesn't solve it by getting another loans or another liabilities. I'm not sure whether you understand my question. To be more precise, so one of the specific scenario that was thrown to us was, I have a liability on my credit card right now, and to be able to pay the liability, I borrowed it from another banking institution to pay the liability.
Okay.
So he is borrowing time by putting another institution to pay for that. What is the risk for him when he is doing this type of scenario?
Actually, the risk, if he did not pay the first one, either the second one, that he will find himself just in a big problem.
In a bigger problem.
Yeah, it will be two problems right now because that's the two banks. But I recommend, just if he has a problem like that, just maybe he will try to find a financial company or just the bank or just whatever, and then he will describe his situation to them. Maybe the bank will get this loan from the other bank. It will be transferred. So that will be one loan also under the one.
Okay.
That's only
Alright.
will be
So
one bank.
it becomes now a transfer, therefore the liability goes to
Yeah,
another.
it happens. It
another
happens a lot.
institution.
Lots of people just I have, for example, just if I have a loan from a bank, and then just another bank wants us to pay in behalf of me to the other bank, and then I will do it like the car. Maybe you got the car from the any place, and then the bank will pay in behalf of you for for them, and then just you pay for the bank, not for
Okay.
the establishment.
So therefore, it was a transfer of liability.
Yes, if the bank accepts that, it will be he will be in it will be in behalf.
But personally speaking, I actually don't recommend that exactly by transferring one liability to another, because it doesn't really solve anything. You're
You
trying.
have to pay at the end.
Yeah, it doesn't solve anything. You are just transferring another liability to another institutions. Anyway, we're going to be pausing for a short break. That's going to be our last few questions. So please throw your question to us, and we'll pause for a bit. I'll see you later. Welcome to Legally Speaking. I'm your host, Professor Gauragani. So, we would like to take these last portions of our interviews tonight to have a general advice on the creditors, the debtors, especially those who have issues, legally speaking, meaning they have an impending case or they are expecting an impending case. However, I would like to take this general advice to have a balanced point of view, because as we are saying in talking about the issues of those who are borrowing monies or having credit card issues, is to make sure that liabilities are paid, and they have to read the terms and conditions, whatever the financial institution provides, because they have also the right to implement and impose the one that you guys have agreed upon. So, Mohammed, what's your general advice on those, experiencing this right now?
You mean just you have already an issue?
Yes, an impending case, impending issue.
Okay. Actually, in this question, I will answer in two parts.
All right.
The first part, if you receive the notification that you have a hearing, just that financial institution just to file the case against you, asking you for a claim. In this moment, just some people are not curious about how to prove their rights. You have to be careful. You have to be careful how to give the court all the supportive documents that you have, and how you have to understand how if there is a simple interest or a compound interest. So I recommend this to try to find the legal advice. I don't just saying just for anything else, but you have to ask for it. Just go for any legal institution, ask for the legal advice. I have this matter of issue. What should I do? What is the supportive document for me I have to provide? Because maybe it will be an expert. So in front of the expert, you're not an expert. You have to submit all the supportive documents. How these documents will be calculated, how much you paid, how much you not, and that's the point. Also, you have to know, just maybe, for example, just right now, just if you have a bit of issue with the financial institution,
Okay.
and what is the guarantee you give in the first place? Maybe you got a loan, you give a guarantee as a salary certificate,
Okay.
as a core, as a property or something.
You talk about collaterals.
Yes, because if you lose this case, the bank had the
right.
ability to sell this property if it's okay,
That's
to sell
true.
this car. Then you will destroy your life. So try to get the legal advice first. What should I do? What is what is the contracts are saying?
True.
That's the first. And the second part is you already have an execution. Okay,
If
and
in case
then-
they have an execution, yes. What?
there is execution. Maybe you have an execution, but maybe you have a time to appeal. How? Just because some kind of issue like a checks, exactly checks. You have the right, if you ask someone for a paid amount or just the bank institution or some the institution, financial institution has the check, they can submit the check for a stamping, and then we'll go direct for the execution.
Okay.
So you have the right to fight back the appeal if you have the right, if you already paid this amount.
True.
Okay, but if you already finished the case and everything done and have the execution, also try to ask for make a settlement with the defendant or the defendant. Maybe you have the right to ask the court for installments if that's will be allowed. That's the issue. Try to find a solution because you will pay at the end.
Still, liability needs to be
You
paid
will-
at
you
the
will
end
pay.
of the day, right?
But maybe you need a time to pay. Maybe you need to. I release you from the circulars seizing. You have a
True.
freezing count and everything. So
True.
try to settle with the bank. Try to settle with the court. There is a way to settle it. I am sure.
Anyway, I would take it on a different advice from a business person and from an individual who is also living here. We have to live with what we have. Do not spend more than what you are capable of. By principle, the liabilities that you are taking into must have an equivalent of taking that to be paid upon, making sure that you have the means to pay those liabilities. And in as much as I would like to give emphasis on to our fellow expats here, is that credit cards and facilities from different financial institutions allow us to have this facilities to be used of, but we should not also overuse them.
Yep.
Okay, we should not take advantage of it, and that's but by means and simply saying you have to spend only the way you earn it.
Yeah, actually, I know that's the reason of the word loan. Just it will a loan just only for unnecessary something. Just I need to
Very important or very emergency cases, you mean?
Yes, that's what. Why? But you to get a loan for doing something,
True.
you overreact on that one. You will find yourself in a problem.
True.
And then maybe if you wanted to put yourself in a good place, you will find yourself in the jail
I
at
understand.
the end. So the loan means just for necessaries.
I understand.
Necessity. Okay.
That's really interesting topic. We have gone for 1 hour. I didn't actually feel that we have taken 1 hour tonight. I would like to make sure and give emphasis that whatever we provide, it is for general information purposes only. It should not be taken as a legal advice because we recommend you to seek lawyers or legal counsel, because each case has its own different circumstances, and that needs to be more specific and tailor-fit solution for you. So for tonight, I would be signing off. Thank you so much, Mohammed.
Thank you too. I
Thank
really
you.
enjoyed it that day.
Same here. I mean, it's running an hour now, more than we are expecting. But we expect you to be engaging with us. And
Thank
until
you very
our
much.
next episode, I'll see you soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Again, thank you from Legally Speaking.
Bye.